So let's start off, though, really quick with Nevermore. So we saw this trailer put up. Jeff Loomis posted it. I believe it was on Instagram or one of his social media accounts. There's a video talking about, it's basically a video says Nevermore 2025. So it sounds like it's very obvious he is going to be resurrecting the band with Van Williams. Obviously, this has caused a big stir. And honestly, this came out of left field. I don't think anybody was expecting this to happen. I was actually quite surprised when I saw this. I'm like, Nevermore. But expect the unexpected in the metal scene, right? So let's talk about that for a little bit. So essentially, they're talking about bringing the band back. I'm going to guess they have a singer picked out, but they have not announced it. Probably probably a bass player picked out. You know, you don't see anything. We don't know for sure. We just know that Van Williams and Jeff Loomis want to bring the band back. At least that's what it looks like. And I'm going to start with your reactions because I put this up on the social media pages. I was like, what do you all think of this? Do you think that, what do you think of this band coming back? Now, obviously, Warrell Dane is not with us anymore. He has been gone for quite a long time now, as he tragically and sadly passed away years ago now. So what do people think? Before I get into my opinion, I'm going to go into the reactions I ended up getting. First of all, let me just say I was shocked that the reactions, at least in my circle, on my social media outlets, were mostly positive. I didn't really see a lot of, you had some pushback, like no, you're always going to have the people that are going to say no Warrell Dane, nor no Nevermore, right? Yet some people saying that they didn't really like Warrell's voice and it'd be interesting to hear that music with a different singer. I sort of disagree with that because I think his voice fit that music perfectly. And that was part of their sound. But Jeff Loomis, obviously one of, if not the main songwriter in the band, bringing the band back. And I think that's what it focused on. A lot of people were excited for this. And then I thought about my own opinion of it. Like, what do I think? And a lot of people just want to hear Jeff Loomis write and record music again. Now, Nevermore hasn't put an album out in a long time. The Obsidian Conspiracy came out quite a long time ago. And honestly, for me, it was probably the band's second weakest album. It wasn't bad, but it definitely was a big step down from the Godless Endeavor that came out before that. And Nevermore, folks, they made a pretty good mark on the scene. They were really, people would always talk about the Warrell Dane, Jeff Loomis combination and people just loving that band when they were around. I have always had a very positive experience with anybody from that band anytime I had encountered them. Again, early on, when they were touring for Dreaming Neon Black, for example, I got to meet them several times. They came through Cleveland a few times that year, actually. I think it was like 2 or 3 times. But I got to be honest, I'm really excited for this, right? Like, I'm really excited for this. And I think it goes into why there isn't as much pushback with them reforming the band, because I think the main thing people really loved, and this is no disrespect to Warrell Dane, I think what people loved first and foremost about the band was Jeff Loomis, was his guitar playing. That is one of the things that people have missed. He was in Arch Enemy, really wasn't writing anything, and to me, it was almost like they were wasting his talent by not allowing him to write any music for that band. Now, I don't know the whole intricacies of that. I don't know why that was. Maybe Jeff felt, hey, I don't have anything I could contribute to this band. That happens. But I am glad. I'm actually really excited that Nevermore is most likely going to make a comeback. Now, they will obviously end up getting another singer. I'm cool with that. I saw Sanctuary with Joseph Michael. I thought he did a phenomenal job, after Warrell Dane had passed away. But generally speaking, I'm pretty excited for this. And I think a lot of people are excited for this. I think there's less, normally when a singer, like when a band comes back and they don't have the original singer, there's usually a lot of pushback. There's usually a lot of people like, oh, the band's not going to be the same, yada, yada, yada. But I think in this case, because Jeff's guitar playing, Jeff Loomis, his guitar playing is so loved by so many people. And the fact he was a big factor in how that band sounded. Being basically, from what I know, and I could be wrong, being basically the main songwriter in the band. I think that is why we don't see as much pushback against this. So I think that you don't have a lot of naysayers. I mean, I've seen some bad comments on social media, but when you compare it to other bands coming back without certain members, the pushback just isn't there quite as much, nowhere close to as much. Like, say, for example, the last Warlord album, for example, no Bill Samus, lots of pushback initially. And then the album came out, and then all the emails came out about Bill wanting the band to push forward without him. And it shut a lot of people up. This situation is different because of the fact that Jeff Loomis his playing is loved by so many metalheads out there. And because that guitar playing and songwriting is such a big part of Nevermore's sound, that is why you don't really see too much pushback on this happening. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the other thing is, too, when you think about it, when I go back and I went back and listened to a lot of the Nevermore material, listened to a lot of those albums, like Dead Heart and a Dead World, Dreaming Neon Black, The Godless Endeavor. I start listening to these albums, and I keep thinking to myself, man, I'd love to see those songs played live again. So that is the other aspect in this. This band has been gone. I mean, I think Obsidian Conspiracy came out like 14, 15 years ago now. I mean, it's been a long time since Nevermore has done any gigs, and since a lot of these songs have been played. So I think a lot of metal fans that got into Nevermore either after the band broke up or liked the band back in the day and saw that band play, now they're going to be able to hopefully experience these songs live once again. And I'm excited to see that. I hope this happens. I hope this is a true thing, which I believe it will be. I think I have some mutual friends of Jeff Loomis, people that know him, and he's a guy that's probably who's probably going to make sure this is done correctly, and he is going to find the right people. And I really think this band, my gut feeling tells me this is nothing but positive. And I think this is going to turn out really well. So I'm excited, folks. I want to know what you think. What do you think in the comments? Let me know. What do you think about Nevermore making a comeback? Obviously with a different singer. I mean, for me, Nevermore is mostly Jeff Loomis. Warl Dane was a big part of the sound. The only thing you're going to lose out on, really, Warl Dane had some interesting lyrical concepts. His vocals were obviously a big part of that sound. So that will be lost. But I'm interested to see who the singer is going to actually be, because there haven't really been any announcements of that. Just a teaser saying the band is going to come back in 2025. So anyway, I want to know your comments. What do you all think? I think it's a great thing. I think it's a positive thing. I am glad that the band is looking to make a comeback. It's been a long time, and I think Jeff Loomis getting back into the fold and writing and recording that style of music, because Nevermore was a pretty unique sounding band and out there in the metal scene, one of the more unique bands I've ever heard, actually. I am excited for that happening. Hey everybody, Tony here from the Metal Command podcast. Again, I appreciate your support. Since 1998, I have hosted this show in one form or another, starting off in radio and now in the podcast format. Again, thanks for watching, and if you like what you see and hear on this show, by all means, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to be notified anytime I do post a video, and if you see this program on any other form of social media, please give me a follow there. Again, I always appreciate your support.